Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Actually, that should be alright, because we're gonna go up to the edge of this road. I'm not gonna go onto that bit of road over there at all. And in this one I want to go to the far edge of the road, so I just want to make sure that corner there does actually come into a neat, tidy, square corner. Because there's one thing I am going to try and do on every field, or most fields, is I'm going to try and make our fields completely square. We're not going to be doing... I'm not going to try and go for natural edges or angled edges or anything like that. I would like dead square fields all the way through. It's nice and easy then for our hired help and everything like that. If we can just have everything as a complete, absolute square all the way through, that would be absolutely... And it does look like we should be able to do that right here in this corner as well. It looks like we should be alright for doing that. So we'll go and get the plough on. There. And I can unfold that plough. Now, the easy bit to start with, I can go in here, right there, and do that. Right, so then we go Alt-C and we turn on the GPS. And then I will lower it down. Go Alt-E, and you have to do that twice. And then I start driving. And that just puts out like a little bit of a mark. And then I'll lift it up. I go Alt-E again. And it should have me now a course. I go Control S and I can look in here. So I should have a course. So I'm going to give the name right here. I'm just going to call this Agro Plough. Like that. There. Agro Plough, we've called that one. So what I want to do in here, I've got auto width that I need to have, plus we need to have that one on there. I'm not going to change this at all. Well, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to alter down the auto width a little bit. Put it to exactly 2.5 meters. I'll leave the offset as it is right there. And offset reversal is off. That should be on. I'll show the lines, and then I'll go here, and I think it's that one. There. I click that one, and then that edits it for us. Like that. So that should have everything now. I've got the offset on there, so if I come out and I go this way, it should automatically offset reversal. Excellent. Right, that gives me an offset reversal right there, and that should be a 2.5 meter spread on this side. That is absolutely fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. So we've got a proper offset reversal on it as well, so that we can see what we're doing. Now, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to bring it out to here. I'm not going to go back any further than that, and that's where I'm going to go. Like there. I'm going to press Y for, I think it's Y for allow create fields. Yes. And we're going to lower it down right there. And I'm just going to drive. I've already engaged it. We've got the offset reversal, and it looks like the lines are lining up with where the plough is working. We're just right on the very edge of this field right here. That's fantastic. If I have a look in here a second, needs ploughing. This doesn't have a ploughing requirement on it anywhere, so we will be able to sort of get a little bit of a test. Because that field and that field aren't going to be that dissimilar in size. So that will give us a little bit of an idea of the yield comparisons. We're going to be planting... What's our next crop going to be? We've just done oats as our planted one. So canola. We're going to be doing canola across the whole lot. So it will give us an idea of whether or not the ploughing will make any difference. Because if it will, there'll be... quite a difference between the yield from the two fields. At least this is what I'm thinking. So, like, we'll be able to use that as a marker as to what exactly is going on with this field. So I'm going to bring it only to about that far. I will deal with the rest in a bit. So then, if I bring you over this way, the reason that we don't need the offset reversal is because if I bring that there, what I should really be doing is then I go to here, I press B, and I switch it over. Is that going to put the offset back to where it should be? Nice! Okay, so the offset does... No. Right, I don't want the offset reversal. Let's go and have a look in here. Offset reversal off. Because it's a reversible plough. Yeah, right, that's staying the same, except that I need to invert the offset a second. There. Right. And then Alt-X, like that. Right, now we will see how accurate our ploughing line is. No, don't go back all the way over there. That's just foolishness going back over there. We want to take it to about that far. Like that. And now we'll run down here. And that is actually looking pretty good. That's pretty close to where we want it. Next, let's go to you. And we can run up round this way and hook in beside that combine. It will get the next 3,000 litres of beans into the trailer. And it's got a little bit left. I said around about 6,000 to 7,000 litres of beans. And it does look like we are going to be around about 7,000 litres of beans. We've got another 3,000 to go in here now. And then we've got that little bit of a strip left. So we are looking at around 7,000 litres of beans, which is really not very much. And the price that we're being offered is 2,600. That's already gone down quite. You know what? I'm going to go and put those in storage. 2,677 is too far below. I would want above 2,700 for selling beans. I don't want to go below 2,700. I think that's too low. That is too low. We have some standards. Right, 6,100 so far. Yeah, we'll just stick it in storage and then it will be absolutely fine. We won't have any issues with that. Right, off you go. And run up through here. So we've got a couple more. We got a few passes to do to get out to the other side of the road over there. But that's going to mean that we've got quite a substantial increase in the size of our field. This job does take a while. Like when you start buying up more fields and you're ploughing up the bits in between the fields and just getting it ready, it does take a little bit of time to get round the field and get it all set. But it's a job you only ever have to do once. Once this is done, it's done. That's it. There is no more. You don't need to do it anymore. So this only occurs once. So it's definitely worth taking the time to do it well. Right, just go steady and not try to rush this job. Absolutely, definitely worth going steady and not trying to rush it. So we're going to bring you down to there. I mean, we do have ways of correcting mistakes, as we've pointed out. So now I need to swap you over like that, so that the automatic offset reversal is... no, not the offset. We don't want it offsetting. We don't want the offset reversal. Right, I'll bring you to there. It should be right. As I get it to the same point every time, we will be absolutely fine. Keep an eye on the combine working up and down the field, but at the same time I want to keep this plough moving, because this ploughing bit is the little bit that's going to take the longest. We're definitely not going to have as much to do on that top side. We're only able to go up to the lower side. Well, that's as far as we want to go anyway. Just the lower side of the road. We don't want to plough up to the opposite side of the road. Yeah, I was just wondering if there was like a there isn't any kind of triangle bit out there on that road. That's fine. We can just have it a neat square edge on the road as well. That's going to look pretty good. We don't want to get too close to the road, because we don't want it coming up saying that we don't own it. And as I've said before, I don't know yet exactly what you're going to say on the whole ownership of land thing. So, I suspect that you'll be happy with me to do it. But I don't know. I've thought, you know, I'm fairly confident about how people are going to answer questions before now, and I've been way off mark on it, so it really goes to show how well I can judge what the answers to these questions will ever be. So yeah, so I'm not making any assumptions on this one. I'm absolutely not making assumptions. I know I've stated that this series is not intended to be a realistic one. I'm not looking for anything resembling real life as such. Although I do tend to stick with mostly the base game machinery until I get to much later in the game. Then we will start going for increased capacities and changing things around a bit just to like speed it along. Whether I start doing that a little bit sooner than I would if I was just playing for myself because of the fact that I'm recording it. So some of these jobs will take a while if I can't speed them up a bit. I don't really know. And we're on 1,100 litres of beans at the moment. So it's going to be ending up slightly over the 7,000 I said. It looks like we're going to be closer to 7,500 litres of beans than 7,000, which is actually pretty good. That's not bad. That's slightly better than I thought we would get. I have no idea what we're going to get for oats, because I don't know what their yield is like. Oats is not something that I've ever done a great deal of. I've never really, like, any of my series, I've never really done very much in the way of oats. Mainly because, hang on, let me just swap that one over. Mainly because I'm not a big fan of eating porridge oats, anything like that. And also, right, I just want to line that one up there a second. Also, because they're mostly for the horses, I'm like done very much with horses in the game either. Bring you on a little bit. Let's go to there. Like that. I haven't done all that much stuff with horses in the game, so that would come into it. And then I've also got the fact that oats give less yield. I know that they do give less yield than barley and wheat. They were sort of nerfed quite a bit towards the beginning. I'm not sure how much. I think the yield of them is now closer to canola and beans, which seems a little bit odd to my mind because, like, they don't have that lower yield in real life. Yeah, they don't give as much. Well, as far as I know, I've only ever been involved with harvesting oats once, and I was on a grain trailer, and it was only a small field, and I have no idea if it was a typical yield or not. It seemed to be something similar to spring barley, but it was a long time ago, and I don't really remember. I wasn't paying all that much attention to it because I was told this is just a one-off and we're not doing this again. And so it sort of didn't really... It was one of those things that you sort of know, oh yeah, this is happening, but you pay very little attention to it because you've already written it off as kind of unimportant and a minor detail that's not going to affect anything, really. And that's what oats were for me, was that it was a minor detail and they weren't going to affect anything at all, so I just didn't pay attention to them. So yeah, I'm not actually sure what their yield would be in real life. What would you expect to get from... Oh, I mean, and real farmers, come on, tell me. Anybody that actually grows oats, what is the yield of oats like compared to wheat or compared to barley for tons an acre? What are you getting? I know that you guys in the US, you always talk about bushels per acre, tons per acre or tons per hectare. That I can work with, but you guys who work in the US, you're always talking about bushels per acre. That means absolutely nothing to me. That means as much to me as talking in Fahrenheit does. I've literally got no clue. Somebody says, oh, it was this many Fahrenheit. It was 68 Fahrenheit. Ah. Well, that sounds kind of pleasant, I think. 68 Fahrenheit. I don't really know, because 68 degrees C was, you know, that would kill you. That temperature sustained for any length of time, you would literally just boil yourself to death. Well, not actually boil, because boiling is 100 degrees C. Freezing is 0 degrees C, and then there are increments in between. So a healthy body temperature for a human being is approximately 38 degrees C. I think it's 38. Is it 38? I think it's round about 38. You know, now I can't remember. I know that there is a set temperature, but some people will generally be warmer than that, and some people will generally be a bit cooler. I'm going to have to go and look this up now. I am genuinely going to have to go and look this up. Right, if I have a look in here, lower header, where's the straw chopping? I don't think you've actually got a choice for straw chopping on this one. Oh, wait a minute. There. No, it doesn't look like you've got a choice for straw chopping. I'll bring you in here a second, and I will lower you down. And it should start leaving straw behind. Yeah, you don't have a choice. It automatically chops straw. And going down across the field here, right, it's definitely giving us more than the oats, than the beans were. Although the beans weren't fertilized. I don't know if that's made any difference to it. I have no idea. Right, well, anyway, we'll worry about that later. So, next, I need to take you 7,500 litres of soybeans. I'm not going to worry about running that off and selling it, so that can just stay here at the yard for now. We'll go and tip that out in our storage, and then we can take this tractor and trailers over into the field for the oats, and we're ready to start unloading oats as the combine fills up. We're not going to start cultivating in this field up the top until the plough has finished its work. And then as soon as the plough is finished in there, we can have a tractor go in with a cultivator and start doing cultivating in there. That's actually going to work out quite nicely for us, I think. This bit in here, we got a little patch in here, and this bit here won't be used for anything. And it doesn't look like it's going to be used but for anything either, because that is not part of the terrain. You can see by the way the grass is clipping through it, those are objects that are placed down. That is annoying. I mean, I'm not too concerned about that. We can still bring the field out a little bit, just not very much, because we've got a dirty great big boulder over here. How much can we extend the field out? Well, I wouldn't want to go past this edge of the road, so we'd sort of be wanting to go here. I'd have to bring it back over this way a bit. I would say, actually, we would sort of bring it over to here. I'll get rid of these 3 trees, maybe. But it'd be sort of, maybe, it'd be about in the middle down here because of that great big boulder that we'll have in the way. It's going to have to run down here like this. Something along there. I'm not quite sure yet, but there is unfortunately a boulder in the way there, so we can. I was thinking, oh, maybe we could like put a shed down there or something like that. Maybe that we could make use of that land and we could put a shed there for machinery in the future. But maybe we're not going to be able to do. I don't really know. That's something that we can worry about in the future. We'll deal with that later when we need machinery sheds. We've got some space over there. Except that some of that is going to be taken up with our root crop storage that we want to put in. So we got that we're going to have to make sure that we have definitely got room for. So what are we going to do with the top bit? Genuinely have no clue at the moment. Really don't know what I'm going to do with that. Oats. We have gone... Where is the combine? That come all the way? Oh, there he is. He's just turning around. Right, we're on 54% and we've done 2 passes on the field. We're going to go back up the field now, which means that we are actually ready to start emptying it out. So I want to empty it out before it gets up to the other end. So we'll run alongside it now and we'll be emptying it out as we go. Up through here, and then once we've done this, we can then go back to our plough. If we've got 2,000, we had 50% on 1 pass of the field, 2 passes of the field. It's definitely more than we were getting on the beans. I think it's less than what we had for like wheat and barley yields. I definitely think it's less than we had on those. I really have no clue. I really have no clue what yield. Like, I haven't paid that much attention to what yield. I think we were getting something in the region of 20,000. We had 35,000 litres of barley, didn't we? With 35,000 litres of barley, and we started off with between 10 and 12,000 litres of each of the crops in the field when we first got here, which means that we had roughly 20 to 22,000 litres of barley off of the field. What we got for wheat, I don't know. I couldn't say about the wheat, but that's what we had with roughly 20,000. So we'll see what we get with the oats. See whether or not we get roughly 20,000 litres for oats as well. Now we can go and plough another line up here. I reckon that we're going to do 2 more lines, and I don't want to go out too far. Like, if I go too far over, I'm going to end up just sort of kissing the edge of the property that we own. And that ends up with the machinery, as it's running up along the side, you keep getting the message to say you don't own its land, just on little bits of it, and you have untidy lines on it, and I really don't like that. That makes it end up looking, it ends up looking really, really bad when we do that. But that's interesting. Just got interrupted there for it about real life for a moment, but left that one in the ground. Look what it's doing. It's just slowly drifting sideways. As soon as I start moving again, he'll correct himself and he'll put himself straight. We're just going to have to watch that when we come back down again and just make sure that it does actually plough in the one line down through there. So we'll keep a close eye on that one when we come back up through. Might be that we only do one more pass. Gonna have to be a little bit careful about how we do this. Right here on this corner. This corner is the bit that I'm slightly concerned about with how much we actually own on here. So I wanna try and make sure that we keep this all neat and tidy right the way down through. We'll take that one there, and I'll go to there a second, and then activate the GPS. But I'm going to bring this one up quite a bit. We're going up this way a bit further than I otherwise would have. And then start running through here. So I'm out a little bit on there. I'm going to do probably just half a run back up through. I'm not going to do a full width on my final run up through here, because I think they've got it. It looks like on a map that they've got it set for the very edge of the road. And so I don't want to go right up against that. I want to bring that back. You can see sort of the slight texture in the pattern back over this side a little bit. I want to run kind of like up on that run right there. I don't know if you can see in line with where I'm... It's not there. I'm looking in line now with the wheel on the plough. And there's a slightly darker line with it. And then over there's another slightly darker line. Just to this side of that slightly darker line. That's sort of roughly where I want to put the edge of my field. I think that's going to be for the best. I don't want to push the ownership sort of issues, not too much. So let's bring you out round this way. Oats are on 59%. I'm going to leave. I'm just going to ignore the combine for a minute. I want to make sure that actually where he's running now, he's not far off of where I wanted it. Me tuck that in like that. He's not very far off of where I wanted it. He is a little bit too far over, I think. So I'm going to just... We need to go Alt, page down, and I want to just nudge it over a bit. I'll put it to there. That's a bit better. That's closer to where I actually want it. I'll run it to that point right there. So let me... What I don't like is the way that it catapults it out of the ground whenever you stop moving. It gives you uneven edges by doing that. So I've got to sort of try and move whilst lowering it down just for that bit. Yeah, there. That's pretty much spot on. The wheel is running up the darker line there, and the edge of the plough is running a little bit further in. I don't want to push it any more than that. Now, if you do tell me that you want me to buy up everything over there and we own all of that land, maybe I will do another run down through. purely so that I get to plough up all of the shrubs that are all the way down the side, because I kind of like doing that. And we have got just enough level ground right the way down through. If I go and remove the tree down the other end, it looks like we got just enough level ground to be able to get away with doing that. And that means that we could plough up all of those shrubs, which... there's something immensely satisfying about ploughing up the shrubs. I mean, I suppose I don't really need to. There's only like a small width there on the field, so I don't really need to concern myself with that kind of amount of it. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, I want to set the edge on here, and I'm going to do that. We're going to go into here first. We will go here like this, and then I want to rotate here by 90 degrees like that. So that's where I'm running there, which means that this over here is in the wrong place. I don't want it out quite that far, so we need to bring it back this way. It's actually there that I want to do it. That is the edge that I want to run down. Right there. So let me bring you up round this way. I've got to be careful on the corner. The corners are the bits that are so easy to mess up. This is sometimes why you do want a roller, but I don't want a trailed roller. Let me activate that onto there. I've got the plough facing in the right direction for this as well. Helper E has a full grain tank. He is now parked up. So that one right there, is that going to be alright doing that there? So where this plough is, right, drop you there. That's alright. And that's as far as I'm going to go there. That does actually seem to be okay. It's not telling us that we don't own the land. Whether it's going to change its mind about land ownership when we get down here, because it's the corner that is always the slightly tricky part. I don't want you to change your mind about land ownership down here. The corner is always the tricky part. And you can take it. You can usually do a pretty good job of getting the corner just right. Alright, there's that bit. I'll reverse up here a minute, and we'll do that again. If I just Alt-X, I'll leave. We'll just reverse up, and we'll do it like this. We'll then rotate it 90 degrees in a minute, and we'll tidy up the other corners. So that one can go there. We'll do the other corner coming from the other direction. It doesn't matter if we've got slightly rounded corners, just a little bit, as long as we've got most of it looking pretty much spot on square. I'm going to be happy with it. I just want for the most part, I want the corner. And that's why I like these, the mounted ploughs like this rather than a trailed one, because you are able to go and use the point of the plough to get a nice even edge on your corner, and you can do a pretty good job of getting that even edge on there as well. Bring you back over to this side, and I'll do another such a pass on here, and that's going to have everything that I need going up to that corner. We'll then go and tidy that out completely, and then we can come back over to this side. So let's not get too close to the road over there, or that is just going to end up looking absolutely terrible. Get this over to here. We'll jump down. I'll jump down to the combine after I've tidied up this corner. It doesn't really matter that the combining is going to take a little bit longer. I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat, and then we can get back to it nice and refreshed and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.